I'm going to ask you straight up. Do you think we as physical therapists should be able to fire our patients? But before we get into that, first and foremost, howdy. I am Matt the PT, coming at you with another video. I first want to start off with saying thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. And of course, if you like these videos, hit that thumbs up. And if you have anything that you want to talk about or any, whatever I say, do you agree with it, disagree, or whatnot, please comment it down below. Let me know your thoughts and beliefs on the topic. Now, the thing I want to talk about this week, again, should we be able to fire our patients? And should we, as therapists, be more empowered to do so? I'll tell you this story, and this just happened this week. A colleague where I was working had a patient that came in and put the person on the bike, and the patient was about 20 minutes late. And the therapist had stepped aside to take care of a note or something like that while the person warmed up, and then, happened to look up and their patient was leaving, caught the patient who happened to be near me. And they were talking. The patient was saying, I don't really feel like this is working. I don't really, benefit. And the therapist is like, no, we need, you need to do this. We need to do that. And then the patient left. And the therapist was saying, goes, she has been late every single time she's come in. She doesn't do anything at home, and she doesn't want to do anything that she's in here. It's like, why are you coming? And that really brought about this, that should we as therapists be able to fire more of our patients? And I'm going to tell you, first and foremost, I do think we should have that ability to do so. First off, I'll tell you, I did not know that providers ever did this. I didn't know that until I took my first job. There were some physicians by us, and just talking with the MAs at times, they would talk about, a patient fired us as their doctor. What? And learned that if a patient wasn't happy with their doctor or whatnot, they could fire the doctor. And likewise, they would fire patients if the patient was just consistently showing up late. If they were just mean or rude to the staff, they're combative, verbally abusive, or anything, they said, we fired them because of this or that. But I would say, in the world of physical therapy, I don't see many physical therapists ever, quote unquote, firing a patient. And I know we all have these stories of patients that just really upset us in one way or another, and we don't ever, quote unquote, fire them. Now, I believe that this is possibly something that holds us back as a profession in what we do. Now, I think that we're not really empowered to utilize this very often, and it comes from several spots. And first and foremost, I want to speak, if you are a director, if you're management, area, vice president, if you are something in, above a staff and above, I think there is an issue right there, is that the people above us don't empower us to do so at a staff level. And I'll tell you what, I've had, management over the years that they don't treat first and foremost, that's the thing. It really seems to be the people who are not patient facing. They aren't working with people one-on-one anymore. They're just sitting in an office off somewhere, and they're telling us to do these things. And, when we get a patient that, is coming in, that they're maybe coming in late very often, maybe they're coming in and they're just not wanting to do anything. They're not doing it at home. Maybe they are verbally, abusive, things along those lines that we're not comfortable with what they do. And I know I've had management say this, like, oh, well, you need to talk with them, and you need to do this, and you need to do that, you need to do all these things. And it's like, do you not think I'm already doing all of that? You don't think I've had the talk with the patient? You don't think we've tried those different strategies and things like that with this person to get them to come in on time, to get them to do their stuff? You don't think that we've tried to do that? And they just don't want to believe that we do that. And I would really ask, if you are a director, a manager, if you are in that management, why do you believe so? Why do you believe that your therapist, the people that you hire that are under you in that chain of command, are not doing everything that they can to help those patients or to meet those patients where they are? I mean, really, you don't think they are? And I would say, like, if you don't think that they are, is that more a reflection in your hiring practices? So maybe you're not hiring the best people if you don't have that level of trust. I also think as well that there's people outside of the physical therapy world. So most of us as therapists, we get our patients from physicians. And if we fire a patient due to any one of those reasons, is that patient going to go back to that physician and talk about us to say like, oh, well, they told me not to come back because they weren't doing this and doing that. And that doc believes everything that patient says and is like, oh, we're never going to send you and you're not doing this. Which I find this funny. In those cases, that if a doc believes every single thing about us that a patient tells them or somebody tells them. However, if we told that doc what that person or patient had said about them, they'd be like, whatever, no, they're wrong. And I'm really wondering, if you're a physician watching this, why is that? Pose that question to you. Why do you believe everything that somebody will say about us as a therapist, but you don't believe anything that whomever said about you on that? And I find that kind of funny. And that goes for like case managers and adjusters with insurance companies. They as well just fall. Oh, they did this. Oh, that's how it was. And so we're just going to believe that. And, it turns into like, no, we have to just give in to this person on anything and just keep taking it, this person, because we're going to get chastised by our managers or doctors or whomever, because thinking that we're not trying to do our job, that we are not trying to do as good of a job as possible. Now, I will say, I think if really weird therapists are really empowered and, given that to say like we can fire patients, I don't think it's going to be used all willy-nilly. Now, that's the thing. People try to go to that extreme. Like, oh, if you get that, you're just going to be doing. Let me ask you, how do you think we make our money? We make it off of people coming in. If patients aren't coming in, we're not generating any revenue. So why would we be like kicking people out and not wanting that? That doesn't make a lot of sense. And I've had people that have gotten upset about, delays in care due to like authorization or sending something out. And it's like, why would we do that when we make money whenever that you come in? Because if we're not billing your insurance, we're not generating revenue and we won't keep our doors open. So that's an interesting thing. But I do really feel that, there is multiple levels to this as well. And I think it needs to be something that's just kind of held in a reserve, in talking to a patient. If there's something coming up, if somebody is consistently coming in late, this person is always scheduled at 9:00. They don't get here until 9:15, 9:20 every single time. And I want to say that's frustrating because it's like, I had you at this time, you're trickling over into someone else's time. And I mean, we all sit down and we have that talk with the patient. Hey, what's going on? Is it something that is in your control on it? Are they leaving work or leaving home at an improper time? They're not leaving at the right time and then they're getting late. Okay. That's something that's within their control. Can you leave earlier? Can you do those things? Or, offering them, hey, to say like, okay, you're constantly coming in at 9:15, 9:20. How about we put you at 9:30 so that you leave at whatever time when you get here, you're actually early for your appointment. And I know that we do that. We talk to patients about that. Hey, let's just switch your time if you're having something, issue. If it comes to transportation and maybe it's outside of their control, maybe it's public transportation, It's like, okay, again, okay, so you take public transportation. People live in areas where it's not really reliable, or things like that. And it's like, okay, again, we can move you to this time, so we know that when you come in, we can work with you on that. Or are they using a transportation service? And again, you can get us involved in that as well, letting them know, hey, you're supposed to be bringing this person at this time. We're going to light a fire under your behind too, because you're affecting us, bringing that up. Is it something as well with, like doing stuff at home? That is something that gets frustrating, that we get people that don't want to put the work in. And that's how it's seen. And that can be a little rough in some of the language of it. But somebody's like, they're not doing their stuff at home. They're not putting forth a lot of effort, with us. And again, being able to sit down and have that conversation is like, hey, we really need you to do your exercises at home. What's holding you back from doing it? Is it a time factor? It could be that they're working multiple jobs and they have to take care of their family and they just don't have the actual time to do it. Okay, so what if we cut those exercises down? Maybe it's the remembering of them. There's the thing about habits. Habits become much more of a habit. They actually kind of form into a habit the more like repetition. If you get up every morning and do this same thing, it's more likely to become a habit. So how do we fit this into your day? On it. Are the things too complicated to do? Again, you got too many of them. Do you not understand the value of them? So explaining those things, and then like putting forth an effort when you're in therapy to say, hey, we just can't really do these really easy things all the time. It's not going to be easy because we have to get you to this level up here. We have to progress you. We understand where you are. We're not going to hurt you. We are going to push you safely, but we're going to have that conversation about what we do and that we are going to get into that. And I think it's very important as well, if we do that, that is documented, that you document all of that, that you spoke with the patient about this and that you did take those steps and you did let them know, and that you're on their team. I know I say that to my kids all the time. We are on your side. We are all on the same team. But letting people know, we are on your team. We are on your side to help you. We want to get you better. And if push came to shove and, through all of that, the person just still, because we occasionally get somebody like this, that we say, okay, no, we're not going to see you anymore, because if you're consistently showing up late and you're not respecting our time and you're not respecting the other patient's time, we can let you go and we will find someone who will respect our time, because many of us have a wait list to get in. If you're not going to get put in the work, so you coming in, you're not going to do what you need to do to get better. Let's not waste each other's time. Let's allow somebody who does really want to do that they come in and take that spot. Okay. And, there's no hard feelings on it. And maybe it just, they may not like you as a therapist or person. We have those conflicts. We run into times and things that we just don't click with somebody. So maybe we have to find, you'd probably do better if you go to this place over here because it's got X, Y, or Z, and you're just going to form a bond with them and just do great. Perfect. That is what you need. I would much rather you go do that you get the best quality care that there is that's going to help you. So yeah, we have to fire you from here, but hey, I know you're going to go over here and you're going to do fantastic because you're going to click with them and you're going to work with them and you're going to do great. And that's what I want for you. But, it's a very layered subject. A lot to it. But I really feel that we as therapists should have that option way more often, and it needs to be supported by, again, our management, the people above us and whomever works with us, the other people in healthcare that are entrusting us to work with those patients, that they are all, hey, we are all on the same page and that we trust one another. I'm trusting that you are going to trust in my process, in my decision making. And if you're not, okay, there's an issue. And I think that also kind of lays it out. You're not trusting my decision making. Okay, there's something there. If you're not really trusting that I make this decision, there's a problem, and we need to work something out on that. So There you go. Just my thoughts on that. Let me know. What do you think? Do you fire patients? Have you ever fired one? How did it go? What did you do? Do you have that process? How long do you take? Do you go through it? Do you have any horror stories about, those are always kind of interesting to share as well whenever we have some of those crazy stories like that. And again, if you're a manager, do you do that to your the people under you, the people that you manage? Do you empower them? Do they know that they can do that, and that you support them, and that you are going to stand behind their decision making? Because I think that is huge on that. Because when you don't have trust from the people above you, it trickles down. It really trickles down, and now you got people that are practicing very scared and tiptoeing around with things. So let me know. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Again, comment down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel. I hope you all have a great week. I will see you next time. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your patients. And until then.